A federal hearing is underway to figure out how the city of LA has been spending money to help the homeless. This all comes as a judge considers transferring control of homeless spending from the city to a third party.
America, check this out. Governor Gavin Newsom just announced $3.3 billion in new funding to fight homelessness. But here's the kicker. The guidelines have absolutely no enforcement power, meaning cities can completely ignore them. But what's really shocking is that a desperate business owner had to blast the Baby Shark song on repeat to clear homeless camps near his property because the government, they ain't doing their job.
California's Governor Gavin Newsom trying to make some progress on cleaning up homeless encampments, but that progress has been slow. So what happens now, and what happens to those living on the streets?
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story perfectly illustrates how California turned homelessness into a billion-dollar industry where politicians get rich, bureaucrats get paid, and nothing actually gets solved. In this video, I'm breaking down Newsom's toothless plan, the Baby Shark business owner's desperate tactics, and why California's homeless crisis is actually a feature, not a bug, of their system. Let me break down Newsom's latest homeless theater for you. He just announced $3.3 billion in new funding for a quote-unquote model ordinance for communities to ban encampments and clean them up. But here's the catch. These guidelines have absolutely no enforcement power whatsoever.
It is time to take back the streets. It's time to take back the sidewalks. It's time to take these encampments and provide alternatives, and the state is giving you more resources than ever.
Cities can literally ignore every single guideline Newsom puts out, and there's nothing the state can do about it. So what exactly are we paying $3.3 billion for? More bureaucrats, more consultants, and more studies about why nothing is working. California has over 187,000 homeless people, the highest number in any state. They've been throwing billions and billions of dollars at the problem for absolutely zero improvement whatsoever. In fact, the problem keeps getting worse.
All the money that we spend on LASA overall, and we look at the performance, not so great, right? If you look, you just got to walk outside and see evidence like some of these pictures as well to know that not everything they've done has been a tremendous success.
But here's what's really telling. The LA Homeless Service Authority just had two former employees receive $800,000 in settlement payouts after accusing their boss of serious misconduct. That's $800,000 that could have housed dozens of people for at least a year instead of going to a cover-up.
These are in documents that were filed that later led to $800,000 in settlement payouts to these two former employees in order to avoid a public lawsuit. There's a whole host of allegations of wrongdoing here against the head of LA Homeless Services Authority, the CEO, Felicia Adams-Kellum.
The truth is, California has created a homeless industrial complex where failure is profitable. The worse the problem gets, the more money flows into bureaucrats, nonprofits, and consultants who claim that they're solving the problem. Speaking of the homeless industrial complex, let's talk about what just got exposed at LA's Homeless Service Authority. Two former employees received massive settlement payouts after accusing the CEO of some serious disturbing behavior.
There's an allegation that she asked the head of IT to delete two emails allegedly sent to her from Mayor Bass, even though those emails were supposed to be kept for 7 years. Allegations that Felicia Adams-Kellum received an inappropriate lap dance from a consultant. And there's an allegation that Felicia had brought in a host of her former subordinates from her previous job who allegedly were not qualified for those positions, yet got pay bumps that other employees didn't get.
But here's the kicker. There's no independent investigation in these allegations, even though the LAHSA has a policy requiring one for senior executives. They just paid out $800,000 to make the problem just go away. This is the same organization that's supposed to be solving homelessness in LA. Instead, they're covering up scandals with taxpayer money while homeless populations continue to grow. Meanwhile, a desperate business owner had to blast Baby Shark on repeat just to protect his livelihood because these corrupt bureaucrats won't do their job. While these corrupt officials are getting lap dances and deleting emails, a downtown barber was taking matters into his own hands.
Here in downtown LA, some business owners have gotten fed up. One barber blasted the Baby Shark song on repeat through a loudspeaker at a nearby homeless encampment until the city made him turn it off.
Think about this for a second. A business owner is so desperate to protect his livelihood that he's willing to torture himself with children's music just to get homeless camps to move away from his property. And what does the city do? They stop the business owner, not the illegal camping. A real estate broker perfectly captured the frustration.
So I can understand why the landlord is, frustrated and has gone to such lengths, especially if it's your livelihood. You might have spent your life savings to buy the building or the business, Everything you have is on the line.
This is what California priorities look like. Protect the illegal camps, punish the tax-paying business owners. The barbershop pays taxes, employs people, and contributes to the community. The homeless camps contribute to crime, drugs, and public health hazards. Guess which one the city protects? The Baby Shark incident is a perfect metaphor for California's approach to homelessness. Instead of addressing the root cause, the illegal camping, they attacked the symptom, the business owner's desperate response. And this isn't an isolated incident. Business owners across California are being forced to take increasingly desperate measures to protect their investment while the government actively works against them. While mainstream media ignores these scandals, investigative journalist Nick Gerta has been doing the work that others don't want to do.
Sacramento Press Club named you the Journalist of the Year for your extraordinary coverage of Andrew Doe, the now former in part because of your reporting, supervisor in Orange County.
Gertner exposed how Supervisor Andrew Doe was secretly sending millions of coronavirus dollars to nonprofits run by his daughter. The FBI investigated. Doe admitted to the scheme, and he's now facing up to 5 years in federal prison. This is what real journalism looks like: following the money, asking tough questions, and holding corrupt officials accountable. Meanwhile, mainstream media was giving these same officials awards and praise. His work led to 3 state reform laws and expanding the definition of conflict of interest to include adult children of elected officials for the first time. That's what accountability looks like. But here's the thing: these corruption scandals aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a system designed to enrich insiders while failing the people it's supposed to serve. The pattern is clear across California. Announce massive spending, enrich bureaucrats and cronies, ignore results, then announce even more spending when the problem gets worse.
It was in 2020 that a group of businesses and residents in downtown sued the city of Los Angeles and the county of LA, saying they had spent billions of dollars but hadn't done enough to deal with the homeless problem.
But instead of fixing the corruption, they started their own parallel organization. More bureaucracy, more overhead, more opportunities to make these corrupt politicians paquitos thick. Meanwhile, Valencia Adams is winding down her time at LAHSA, probably to move on to other higher paying government jobs where she can continue the cycle of failure and enrichment.
And we know that the county basically gave LASA a big vote of no confidence recently and is kind of going to be starting its own thing. That led for Valencia Adams-Keller to say that I'm going to leave the job.
The real victims aren't the homeless advocates crying about insufficient funding. It's the taxpayers and the business owners who are forced to subsidize their own destruction while corrupt officials get rich. This is why the Baby Shark barber took matters into his own hands. When the system is designed to fail, regular people have to find their own solutions. America, California's homeless crisis isn't a failure of government. It's a success story for the homeless industrial complex. Billions of dollars flow to corrupt bureaucrats and their cronies while business owners blast children's music in desperation. The $800,000 settlement at the LAHSA, the lap dance allegations, the deleted emails is what your tax dollars are funding while homeless camps grow and business owners suffer. Nick Gertra's investigative work shows what's possible when journalists actually do their job instead of carrying water for corrupt politicians. We need more reporters like him and fewer bureaucrats like the ones that he exposes.
To me, the most rewarding aspect of the impact has been the community reaction and seeing people across the political spectrum demand answers about what's happening with our tax dollars, demand the truth to come out, and to see the value of investigative journalism at the local level to push for truth.
Until California is willing to prioritize results over politics and taxpayers over activists, expect more corruption scandals, more desperate business owners, and more Baby Shark incidents as regular people fight against a system designed to fail them. The solution solution isn't more money for the same corrupt system. The solution is accountability, transparency, and putting people like Nick Gertra in charge instead of the corrupt bureaucrats he exposes. I'll keep you updated on this story as more corruption gets exposed in California's homeless industrial complex. And remember, when government creates problems instead of solving them, sometimes the only response left is investigative journalism and Baby Shark on repeat. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comments section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.